Good morning and welcome from Shanghai. The wet conditions here today are likely to prove an especially difficult challenge as the teams begin their preparations for the weekend's Grand Prix. Now, I'd like to tell you it's bright and sunny and we're enjoying some lovely warm weather for free practice today, but unfortunately, Anthony Davidson, someone's got the weather gods in an angry mood, and I think it's going to be a damp one.
Well, don't look at me, Crofty. I was hoping for a dry session like everyone else, especially the engineers down in the pit lane. They'll be the ones with the biggest concerns, as a lot of the answers they're looking for in terms of car setup and aero balance will now have to wait until it's dry. From a driver's point of view, there's a big responsibility when driving in these conditions during a free practice session, as there's very little to gain but a lot to lose, especially if you lose control of the car and end up damaging it. And if that does happen, it can put you on the back foot for the remainder of the weekend.
Carl probably mentioned the new parts that have come in from the factory. Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Career Mode, episode number 4 today for the Chinese Grand Prix here at Shanghai. A wet practice session, as you can see, but thankfully qualifying and the race is set to be dry, so I'm running with a full dry setup. Tweaked one or two things, but didn't really have a major effect, so no dramas there. But got through all the practice programs, all fairly easy in the rain. Didn't have a problem getting past either one of them, so I got the purple score for every program. We topped practice 1, as you can see, so let's go and talk to Claire and see what she reckons about it all.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You were flying in practice. Do you think you can carry this over to qualifying? It's the start of the season. How do you think things are going to go for you? Are you hoping things clear up before qualifying? It looks like you've really been focusing on research and development this season. Appreciate your time.
Alright, thank you very much, Claire. If you guys will recall, we had a couple of upgrades that were scheduled to go on the car. All of them have passed once again. I believe we had an engine upgrade, a durability upgrade for the ICE, and a... what else did we have? I believe we had a front downforce upgrade. So all 3 of those upgrades went on the car for this race, so we've had 7 upgrades go on the car so far this season. Not one of them has failed, so that's kind of intriguing to note. But anyway, things are looking good. We've got some solid pace. Just checking the R&D, see what else we can do next or what we might want to do next. Kind of umming and ahhing between fuel consumption or ERS maybe. In the end, I decided to go for ERS. That should be here for Baku, but yeah, decent start to the season so far. Everything's looking pretty good, so let's get into qualifying and hopefully there's a spot in Q3 for us. Alright, here we are, coming to the end of our qualifying lap in Q1. Little lock up there into the hairpin, but no harm done. There's been a pretty good lap, 1 or 2 tiny mistakes, but literally probably only a tenth in the bag. Run a little bit wide through the final corner, so there's a bit more time to find there. And we go position 4. I believe we get knocked down to P5 right away. And then we actually go out again because we actually got knocked out of the top 15. So we are below the cut line to make it through. So we've had to go out again on the second set of soft tyres. This lap has been much better. Hard on the brakes. Again, a little lock up into the hairpin. We need to try and get on top of that. But as we come up to the final corner, bit of a better line through there that time. And as we come up to the line, we go position 10. Pretty decent lap. Still a fair bit of time to find, but in the end, it was enough to get us through. Lewis Hamilton tops Q1 from Charles Leclerc and his teammate Valtteri Bottas. Ricciardo up in P5, so he's quite a way ahead of us. So we've got a bit of time to find, but I wasn't pushing absolutely hell for leather, so there's still time to find. So anyway, we proceed to the second part of qualifying now. I decided I only wanted to set one time lap right at the end of the session when the track was probably at its best. I could have timed it a little bit better, left a bit of time on the table regards to when I went out and how long I had to get around, but anyway, this lap has been pretty good. A pitch perfect lap almost, probably literally maybe half a tenth to a tenth in it so far. Into the hairpin, we avoid brake locking this time, so we avoid locking the right front. A little bit of time gain probably just there as well. Through the final corner, way better run through there that time than both attempts in Q1. Up to the line, do we make it into Q3? Yes we do, P8, and there we go. It took a bit longer than anticipated, but we have got into Q3 finally, along with our teammate Daniel Ricciardo. Still about 2-3 tenths quicker than us, so I don't know, Daniel something's clicking for him at this racetrack. Maybe, obviously he did win the Chinese Grand Prix last year in 2018, so he obviously knows his way around this circuit. But anyway, here in Q3, we'll take you guys through a running hot lap, and yeah. So flat out overtake mode on the ARS, max fuel mixture, up into turn 1. You want to try and take a real kind of a wide line, but you want to be able to have like a late apex come into here. Sometimes I shift down into first just to get the nose in. Short shift third and fourth, up to fifth. Pretty decent run through that first section. Probably, I don't know, maybe a tenth on the table, depending. Hard on the brakes at the 100 metre board. Lock up on the right front, a little bit wide. Should have shifted down to first gear there probably just to get the nose in. Could have maybe saved a little bit of time, but anyway, now flat out. Probably should have shifted down into 6th gear then as well. That's a common theme that I've seen as well. Not only on this year's game, but on last year as well. A lot of people actually tend to go through there in 6th gear. Myself, majority of the time included. Coming to the end of the second sector, we're over a second down on Lewis Hamilton, which is kind of disconcerting because I don't know if that's even the word I was looking for there, but anyway. As Charles Leclerc now goes to provisional pole, and Lewis Hamilton now knocks him off provisional pole. So, top of the timesheets are swapping quite rapidly. Sebastian Vettel now goes to the top. So, Ferrari, Mercedes, Ferrari, but anyway, getting back to us, pretty decent run through the hairpin. Up into hot lap mode as we come through the final corner. Pretty decent run through there, and as we come up to the line, where is it going to be in qualifying 3?
Okay, that's pretty disappointing, but we can
Only P9. A little bit disappointing, honestly. I was hoping for maybe best of the rest in 6th or 7th, but as you can see, Daniel gets the title of best of the rest in P7. Lucas Faber in P8. Now, I just wanted to bring up split times here and have a look compared to Daniel and just see where I was losing time. And yeah, he really seems to dominate me in that middle sector a little bit. So, I don't know. It wasn't the smoothest run through there, but I still felt like it was pretty decent. But either way, let's, yeah, still pretty content, pretty happy with that. I mean, we made it into Q3, which is what I've been wanting to do since Albert Park. Albert Park, obviously, we threw it in the wall. Bahrain, we had a DRS failure where the rear wing got stuck open and then the guys didn't fix it, so that was really helpful. But either way, top 10 start, so good start to the weekend so far.
Obviously, I expected a better session, but these things happen from time to time. Try to make up for it in the race.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Why don't we get things rolling by talking about George Russell? Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Devon Butler and Verstappen, Ricciardo, Weber, Lee and Sergio Perez, Grosjean, Sainz, Lando Norris and Albon, Raikkonen, Stroll, Daniel Kvyat and Antonio Giovinazzi, Kubica and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Alright, thank you very much, Jeff. That was indeed the plan. As you can see, two-stop going from the softs to the mediums again. I was kind of 50-50 on whether I should try and make a one-stop work, but looking at the tyre wear and whatnot, I thought might just be better to play it safe. And yeah, we'll go for the two-stop. We'll lower the fuel a little bit, make the car a little bit lighter. Obviously, the Renault is very good at, you know, not burning too much fuel, and that's without any fuel consumption upgrades or anything on. So away we go for the formation lap. As always, if you guys enjoy, remember, smash that like button, subscribe as always, stay tuned for plenty more. And yeah, looking decent for a points finish. We're kind of in that, we're kind of smack bang in the midfield in terms of our pace, but how good does that look? That wide shot of the back straight, that's just an awesome shot. Graphics on this game, man, they're absolutely awesome. But as you can see, reforming on the grid now for the Chinese Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel on your right, Lewis Hamilton on your left. Then you have Valtteri Bottas and Charles Leclerc. Who's going to get the best start out of the two top guns in Formula 1? We will wait and see. But as we jump back to us, awaiting 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix. And away we go. Not a great start, to be honest. Lucas Weber actually getting an awesome start in the Haas. He's actually going to make it 3 wide with Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo. We kind of lay back just a little bit, just wanting to avoid any collisions or damage if you know, if anything happened between these three. But as you can see, we get a pretty decent run, and we're actually going to get Verstappen. A pretty good move there. He just got balked a little bit, I think, behind Daniel and Lucas. We're potentially looking for a move on Daniel, but nothing comes of it. And we've got tri-fend off Verstappen. We just get good enough drive to hold the Dutchman behind. So that's P8, 1 spot gain so far, so pretty decent. But anyway, Sebastian Vettel fastest lap of the race, so he obviously got the best jump of the top 2. But we run right through the final corner, and Max Verstappen is now right on us. He doesn't go for the move into turn 1, but we actually run quite a bit wide, and that allows Verstappen to just sail underneath us and, yeah, just drive by without a care in the world. And there's one thing that I definitely did notice on these soft tyres for the first 3 laps, that the car just wasn't there. Like, I don't know, it just had no kind of downforce, if you know what I mean. It just felt like really heavy. So yeah, it was like trying to drive a block of cement or something like that. But anyway, now we have the racing point of Sergio Perez, I believe. Yes, Perez having a look at us up the inside, and he's got Lando Norris for company just a little bit further back. Still side by side through the final corner, and Perez is going to get us all the way around the outside. And at this point I'm just thinking, what is wrong? But either way, we're coming in at the end of this lap. Sail it up the inside of Sergio into the first corner, trying to retake the position, just trying to hang on to as many spots as I can. We get the move done, thankfully, and that is us back into position 9. Perez and Lando Norris going side by side now, I believe. Quick glance behind, and yes, that is the case. Just reminding the team that we are boxing at the end of this lap, because I want these soft tyres off, because these feel absolutely terrible. Fast as we can into the pit lane, almost too fast, nearly went in the tyre wall, but anyway. Almost sped into the pit lane as well. That was a perfect entry right on 80k's on the white line, but anyway. Into the pits now for a set of medium tyres. Pretty decent stop there by the Renault guys. We don't get held for anyone. We're the only one in the pits, I believe. 2.5 second pit stop from the guys, so pretty quick stop there actually, so pretty impressive. But yeah, we emerge out in last place, obviously being the only person that has stopped so far. But now we've got our work cut out. We are effectively P10, and there are guys behind us that are one stopping, which does technically mean they are now ahead of us. So realistically, as far as I can tell, we are actually out of the points right now, so we do need to get a wriggle on. Getting on to lap 5 now, we have Max Verstappen, who has come in for a set of medium tyres as well, I believe. And we are all over the Dutchman. I kind of want to get by, but then at the same token I don't. I actually want to follow him, see if he can maybe just drag me closer to the field again. So we're going to sit behind him for now and just hope that maybe he can tow us along a little bit. We'll try and stay within the DRS, but unfortunately I believe he does actually get away. Trying to stick with him through this middle sector, and the dirty air just gives us a fair bit of understeer and just makes things a little bit awkward. I actually think we do just manage to snag DRS off him, but as we cut forward a couple of laps now, wide shot obviously sparking away on the back straight is the Renault, but we've lost DRS to Verstappen. We're still not miles behind, but we've just managed to fall out of that DRS window onto lap 8 now. A couple of fellow AI drivers have come in, one of them being Daniel Ricciardo. Look to the inside maybe, oh that was a bit dodgy from us there, but no harm done. Lock up on the left front. Ricciardo really slow on these cold hard tyres, so we're going to try and get the move done. Side by side now. Oh, this is going to be treacherous. Side by side between the teammates. We're going to try to go around the outside, and do we pull it off? Yes we do. Superior traction on the warmer tyres and more to the point on a softer compound, so we managed to get through on our teammate. So Ricciardo obviously aiming for the one stop, so he's going to be attempting 20 laps on the hard tyres. Definitely possible I think, but as you can see coming on to the end of lap 8 there's a massive train of cars here. I think Antonio Giovinazzi is the cork in the bottle right here. Verstappen's been held up massively. I believe it's Lucas Weber, Antonio Giovinazzi, I believe that's Charles Leclerc there, and Devon Butler. So all of a sudden this is going to condense quite a few of us, and we're actually kind of back in the race here right now. So I'm loving what I'm seeing right here, but Leclerc and Butler going side by side through that whole middle sector. Lucas Weber now potentially looking for a move on Butler. We're trying to get by on both of them. We're going to try a little switchback maybe on Lucas. No, we can't quite get it done. Can we get under him though? No, we're going to have to wait for DRS. Hopefully we'll be able to get past him. Could we maybe line up a move on Devon Butler? That might be optimistic, but anyway, here we go. DRS open, overtake mode on the DRS. That's past Devon Butler. No, that's past Lucas Weber, I beg your pardon. We're going to send it down the inside of Butler though, into the hairpin, and we just managed to stop the car in a nick of time. How was that move? Let's jump on board for a quick replay. That was awesome. Ladies, you're there. Lunge down the inside of the Red Bull. The brakes are glowing red, as you can see. That's a pretty cool shot, but we get the move done. Now cutting on to lap 10. And this is Charles Leclerc getting by the Williams of Robert Kubica. We very quickly follow him through. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Leclerc is on hard tyres, so he's definitely going for the one stop. But as you see, cutting on just a few seconds later, Leclerc now gets by the second Williams of George Russell. and that officially promotes us into P11. But we've got a real good run on Charles. He doesn't cover, and we send it down the inside of the Ferrari. He's still around the outside. He's trying to hang it around the outside. Can we get this move done? And we do. How about that? That was an awesome overtake. And that now promotes us back into the points. So we're back in this race now, boys, I feel. But as you can see, cutting on to lap 12. And we're kind of in a big muddle here. We've overtaken Danny Kvyat. Leclerc, whilst overtaking Kvyat, tries to send it down the inside of us. Caught me off guard there a little bit, to be honest, but no harm done. Cut that corner maybe just a tad, but we didn't get a warning or penalty, so all good. So that's position 9 now, right up behind Alex Albon now in the Toro Rosso. We can try to send it down the inside if we can, tuck the nose in, and he actually turns in on us there. Thought he might have been a little bit more aware of where we were, but anyway. So far, things have been going pretty good. On the lap 13 now, and this is Lance Stroll in the Racing Point that we're now getting past. I believe Stroll is yet to fit. He's actually on the one stop, so we are now legitimately ahead of the Force India Racing Point, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I believe that's Valtteri Bottas and Carlos Sainz now just ahead of us. Sainz actually peels in, so does Stroll, so I presume they're going in for their hard tyres. They should easily make it to the end of the race with no dramas. But I actually got informed over the radio Bottas actually has a problem, and oh my goodness, we nearly run clean into the back of the Mercedes as we come to the start of the second sector. But I don't know if he has front wing damage or whether he has some kind of mechanical problem. I personally think he must have front wing damage. I mean, look at how slow he's going. We're being held up so much right here, and this is just allowing Charles Leclerc to gain and gain and gain on us so much. So we really do need to get a wriggle on. We're going to try, or do we try going in the outside? No, we don't. We might actually try a switchback here on the exit of this corner. Can we get under the Mercedes? It didn't really work initially, but we do manage to get under him. We were behind him at the detection point as well, so we get DRS and we maintain position 3 for now. Charles Leclerc, however, having a go at Valtteri Bottas. I've got a strange feeling he's going to try and lunge us here again, and he does again. But do we just manage to hold both of them off? Yes, we do. So that is P3 for now here at the Chinese Grand Prix. But we're going to dart in now for our second pit stop of the race, going on to another set of medium tyres. So hopefully another smooth stop from the Renault boys would be greatly appreciated. Devin Butler, I believe that was, goes past. There goes Daniel Ricciardo as well on his hard tyres. So Ricciardo, I believe, provisionally is in about P6, P7, I think. So Ricciardo's on for a solid chunk of points here, as long as he doesn't have a mechanical problem of some description. But as they come out of the pits, we emerge in P13, right behind Romain Grosjean and Lando Norris, I believe that is. Yes, Lando Norris. So while we are out of the points, we have brand new medium tyres and a car that I personally feel has got decent pace. So it's time to go, and let's get back up that field. First on our list, Romain Grosjean. Up the inside, clip the apex, very nice. Superior traction on the exit, and there we go. Now, following the Husky Chocolate McLaren of Lando Norris. And this time we actually make the switchback work, or do we? Norris actually has a bit of momentum on the outside. Side by side now on the back straight, but we should have DRS, and we do. And there we go. That's position 11 done and dusted. Next up is the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Raikkonen. And I believe after him there is a bit of a gap to the guys a bit further up the road, so we'll definitely be turning up the engine mode a bit and definitely trying to do a few qualifying laps, if I'm honest. But as you can see now, coming down the front straight, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, I believe, have boxed for their second pit stop, so that actually promotes us into position 9. Raikkonen now P8, I believe that's Ricciardo a bit further up the road in P7 at the moment. So Daniel having a pretty good race at the moment. But as we follow the Alfa Romeo, we cut on now to basically the end of lap 17. Yellow flags behind us somewhere, so I don't know if someone's got a problem We're going to try the switchback on Kimi Räikkönen, and it goes green flags, and there we go. That's P8. Romain Grosjean is out of the race in the Haas. What has happened? Oh, that's a very sick Ferrari engine in the back of that Haas. And Grosjean's chances of scoring points here at China literally go up in smoke. But we're going to go a little bit further up the road a couple of laps later, and this is Daniel Ricciardo on Valtteri Bottas. Bottas still with an issue, whatever it is. I can't tell if it's front wing damage, but Ricciardo now overtakes him, and that is now Daniel up into position 5. So a top 5 for Daniel. I believe he's actually P4 at the moment. Sebastian Vettel stopped, but he is right behind Daniel, so he will no doubt dispose of him in a fairly short amount of time. But we're now once again right up behind the Mercedes of Bottas. He must have front wing damage. He is so slow through these corners, man. It is unreal. Lando Norris isn't really that far behind us, or actually he might be. No, he's not far. You can see him on the mini-map, so Norris might actually even catch Valtteri Bottas. And at this point, man, I'm just a little bit confused as to what's wrong with that Mercedes. But anyway, we cut on about 5-6 laps later, and we have actually caught the fellow Renault driver, Daniel Ricciardo. Those words didn't come out the way I wanted them to, but anyway. On the lap 25 now, DRS open on the back straight, pulls to the outside of our teammate, and there we go. That's P5. Hard on the brakes, make sure Ricciardo doesn't go for a lunge. Little lock up on the right front tyre, but we manage to still make the corner, no harm done, and there we go. So, on to the final lap now. Lewis Hamilton wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Bottas actually fixed whatever problems he was having, but he couldn't catch either of us in time. But Lewis Hamilton wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Doesn't seem to either recognise or just doesn't care. He doesn't seem to want to celebrate, but anyway. So as we come around the final couple of corners, it's going to be our first double points finish of the season. And this is a pretty damn cool feeling as we come around the final corner. P5 here at China, get in.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So there we go, guys. P5 and P6 for the Renault team. That's a pretty damn cool result right there. I honestly did not expect to, finish in the top 5, especially considering how the first couple of laps of the race gone. But as you can see, we now move up to P4 in the Drivers' Championship. Still 4th in the Constructors, only 7 points behind Red Bull, so they need to kind of get a wriggle on now. But anyway, let's go and talk to Claire.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. That was a pretty close finish with your old F2 rival. You two are pretty competitive, aren't you? You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? You had a close battle today, didn't you? Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, thank you very much, Claire. So there we go, guys. P5 here at the Chinese Grand Prix. Pretty decent result. I also forgot to mention, as you can see, we have Lucas Weber as our new rival. So we're leading both rivalries, so that's pretty good as well. Decent chunk of resource points, so we might put that towards a weight reduction upgrade maybe. But either way, that is a really good result. I'm really happy for the team, so let's talk to Emma, see what she reckons about it all.
Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, remember, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for plenty more. And until the next episode, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, I'll see you guys next time.